Hi, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Nerdicane coming at you with another video. Diversity in Comics has declared ComicsGate is over. The fat lady has sung, and well, he said it got boring. I don't think that's actually correct. I don't think that's completely accurate. But we're not really going to use that ComicsGate thing anymore. We're moving on. We're just gonna be fans, and I think that's really good because now, as if we're not going to use that term anymore, now if we compliment a creator, we talk to a creator on social media, they don't have to live under the fear that these SJWs have created in social media, in comic social media. So they can say thank you, or thank you for buying my book, and they don't have to worry about, quote unquote, accidentally saying that to a comics gator and then enraging the SJW, the psychotic SJW mob. So we're just going to be critics because DNC said that it got boring, and I don't think it got boring. I think it just got it spent its energy, and I think that's what happened. Is the natural progression of, for 60 feet, a Nolan Ryan fastball was one of the most amazing things in sports. But if you stretch that out to 100 feet, it's no longer as impressive at 100 feet. And I think that's sort of what happened with ComicsGate. It spent its energy. There's nothing boring. There's nothing ever going to be boring about people actually putting their energy and their passion into comic books, as we've seen with Nasser Rabadi, as we've seen with EVS, and this whole slew of people who've gone from basically where I am, sitting in a chair, loving comics, talking about comics, posting about comics, to they finally put their foot down and say, okay, I'm going to write a comic. I'm going to find an artist. That has been energized at a level we've never seen before. So that's never going to be boring. And, one of the other cool things about the energy of ComicsGate is what you see in just Iron Sights. DNC, he put Iron Sights together. He got it out relatively quickly because he didn't have to do all the color work with it like he does with Jawbreakers. By the way, DNC, where's my copy of Jawbreakers? I got the perfect location to take a picture of it with. I need the book. So you see that this gallery has popped up, and I'm going to show you a lot of these things. People in Israel, people in Spain, people all over Europe are basically posting a picture of their copy of Iron Sights wherever they are. And it's something I've really never seen in comics before. And I can guarantee you the SJWs don't have that passion for these indie comics, because you never see people holding up their copy of Man-Eaters in Paris. I mean, granted, Man-Eaters last month sold 8,400 copies, so it's kind of unlikely you're going to see a copy of that being read anywhere. So that's the passion, that's the energy. And it also did another thing that was really great, and it's done it, and there's no going back. I talk about the damage that these SJWs are doing, and how there's no going back on a lot of things that they've destroyed. Namely, the one that pops to mind is Captain America, the Captain America that we've always known and we've always loved in lore, according to Nick Spencer's writing, which is actual canon. The whole time he was a secret Nazi. That is something that's damage that they've done that cannot be replaced or forgotten or fixed. But on the positive side, the grip of these comic book companies, of these maniacal SJWs who've infused their way into it. By the way, I don't think there's any hope for Marvel. I think it just has to collapse, because I think the infection has gone too far into Marvel. But I may do another video on that. But the grip that they have is broken on the comic book industry. They are no longer the gatekeepers. You have people out there, and you have creators out there who have made their own books, and they are very happy to talk to anybody who's writing their own book or drawing their own book and say, there's that wealth of knowledge and that experience that anybody sitting behind a computer can pull from. They'll say, yeah, you do this, your art needs to be in this format so it can be turned into, I don't know, a PDF or a print file. There's a lot of people out there who will speak and interact with their fans, who can tell you these things. I really don't think a lot of creators, Tom King or Donny Cates, they couldn't tell you that stuff because they write it, they send it off, and then somebody else does all the heavy lifting. But we now know people who've done the heavy lifting, and we can pull on that wealth of knowledge. So ComicsGate has done that. That's a beautiful thing that ComicsGate has done. And to the detractors, they're gonna do their little touchdown dance, and they're gonna celebrate in their own way, in their own little echo chamber, which is gonna just further embolden them. I think we're gonna see a lot of even more crazy behavior from them over the next few weeks and months, because they think that ComicsGate has been the head has been cut off of this dragon, when really the dragon just went to sleep. And I have this to them, to say to those people: look, you were a bad writer, or you were bad with customer service before, during, and now after ComicsGate. That doesn't change anything. You're still a bad writer. And we know who the culprits are. They're out there all the time. What I call the sub 5,000 club. People who cannot sell more than 5,000 books in a month, but yet they still get work, or they still somehow get some project put out. You're still bad. Before, during, and after, you're not good. The books that you're putting out that find their way to Barnes & Noble has to have disinfectant on hand at all times, because your books are so bad. And particularly, I want to point this one out. Mags, of course, is doing her little Nelson ha-ha thing, but Mags, if you're listening, which I don't think you are, I went through your Twitter feed the other day. According to your Twitter feed, you wake up at about 10:30 a.m., and then throughout the day, you'll reel off about 40 to 50 tweets. That's why you're failing. That's why you're constantly in the sub 5,000 club. Get off of social media. Start thinking about these stories. Start creating actual coherent stories that don't have some ridiculous plot hole. If you saw, objectively, anybody looking at the DC New Talent book that they put out recently, yours was the weakest. Yours was the most horrible. And you could tell whoever was drawing that got the script, and they knew you didn't care enough about it, so they didn't care enough about it. But I'm going to drop that. I'm going to give that up. I'm going to move on from that. So ComicsGate is over, and we're moving on from doing things, and we've gotten a lot of really good things out of it. We know who the names are. We know who the creators are, who are passionate about it, the people who want to keep comics alive. They breathe life into the comic book industry by pushing their passion into it. They are the muscles that are contracting and expanding the lungs that are keeping the heart beating. We've got a lot of really cool things out of it. We've had a lot of laughs. And I've got to know a lot of really interesting personalities who I'll stick with long after this. And we got to know Alternate Comics. Many people have tried to destroy Alternate Comics, but they just keep cranking out the core of what comic books should be. Creator-driven projects that you don't have to tell them to be passionate about it, because it's theirs. And if they've gone that far into the effort chain of putting a comic book out, you don't have to tell them. You don't have to remind them to put passion into it. That is their passion project. So we've got a lot of good things out of it, but we're moving on from ComicsGate. ComicsGate no more. And that's all I got for this one. I'll have some other videos. This actually gave me a couple good ideas. But thank you for everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Hit a like, hit a subscribe. I've dipped down below 200 subscribers, so I guess the play button sticker that YouTube sends you got to send it back. I don't know how that works, but if you're listening, subscribe. That way I can keep my play button sticker. Okay? Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. Bye.